Welcome, X-Men fans. We're looking at X-Men Space Riders Jean Grey Light-Up Hyperjet. This is a toy from the 1997 toy line. And my gosh, I think it's getting on my nerves because this table is getting crowded. All right, so we have a little spaceship thing that kind of reminds me a lot of the way, the way they put them together of the Fantastic Four's Fantastic Art. All right, so if you wanted to get all of these, you would need to get the Cyclops with his light-up cosmic cruiser, the light-up space sled for Professor X. I have the Wolverine slashing space shuttle, which we'll check out in just a minute again. I know you've already seen the other video, but this one's a continuation where I'm using batteries. All right, we have Beast with his deep space cosmic blaster. And then when you combine all of them, including hers, which is the light-up Hyperjet, you're going to end up with the Master Battle Cruiser. Now, I actually used to have the Fantastic Art. I wish I still had it to compare them, but it was not the original really interesting. Well, the cartoon one and the original one. The original one was like a bunch of buckets. The cartoon one was really cool. I had that one, but I had the one from the movie one as well, I think. So that one, not as good in my personal opinion. So we have right here some different things about this. So when you start looking at it, you go, oh no, that's a pivoting space wing. We have the power plug, which allows it to connect to Wolverine's and anybody else's actually. Actually, the power plug is something completely different. I can't tell what it's pointing to. The docking connector is what I'm talking about. The hinge blast screen. These screens fold up for some reason. Yeah, I know it's the action figures in there. To get her in there, to get her hand on the joystick, yeah, I don't understand exactly how she's supposed to be sitting or standing or squatting or what. All right, we got the light up. I thought she was going to be standing in the whole thing. The light up missile chargers. Right, I'll show you that in a minute. See bottom for more details. Well, the bottom right here shows you what kind of batteries it takes. I'm not going to replace those batteries. I just bought some AA batteries. I should have read ahead, but I mean, I don't feel like buying those just to make it light up. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm not going to do it today. The battery compartment and see bottom for more details. All right, so this is the box. There's no real art on it. It's just showing her like how she's riding it like a cowboy. And I bought it for I bought it for $10 from a friend named Wilhelm. Wilhelm is part of the 1/8 team, or he's one of the founding members, or him and I guess Jim Largo are the two founding members for 1/8 team, which is a 1/18 scale community. This was originally $4.99, and of course those thread slashes, and nobody really pin slash those, they printed out like that. I used to work at KB Toys until our store shut down in 2003. I remember we got in trouble for that for some reason. Somebody was like, well, you're something, it was never that price. It's like, and then we had to prove that yes, it was at one point that price, and we're slashing prices. So I don't know why that was a big deal. It just was a big controversy. I remember one day we had to go through and put new stickers on everything, and then we had to go back and put them on later. So yes, we raised the prices just because of one person who was like complaining about that. Why would you complain about that? It's like, who cares if it was really $10.99 like when it first came out? Who cares? Even nowadays, like Ross has everything you buy at Ross is compared to. I mean, nobody cares. There's always that one whiny person that ruins it for everybody else. First off, let's take a look at this right here. We saw this one in a previous video. That's not his mask. That's actually her mask. He has been falling apart. I'm having a hard time keeping it together. This is her mask. I'll give it to her. I'm going to just put his hand on the controller. If you watch my other video, you'll see how he actually sits on it. But when you put his hand on the controller, you will see some action. And there's no buttons to turn it on and off. So, yeah, I'm going to take the batteries out because I'm not really caring much about... Okay, so when I had Zoids, I didn't like that they actually had batteries and moving and da-da-da-da. When they made Z-Blocks or Z-Builders, oh, I was all over that. Because I like things that are articulated, but I like things that make them... And things that move on their own, like, what's the point of me being around? But let's just see what it does. First off, it's extremely loud. That would scare the cats. I thought at first, like, maybe that would be a great back scratcher. I don't know. Falls off pretty easily. I'm thinking about modifying this to get rid of these arms altogether anyway, because it's a cool looking ship in my personal opinion. I just don't care about the claws or any of that silly stuff. I mean, I guess the colors are really riveting. Plus, let's connect the two ships just to connect them. Of course, as old as this is, I'm a little bit afraid with those pegs. They may be too brittle at this point. So when I break it on live TV, you'll see it for yourself. Come on, ride the train. You can ride it too. All right, so there we got both of them connected together. But I know you came to see just the Jean Grey part. So let's see if we can take it apart without breaking it. Better get it close to my body so I can kind of cradle it. Good, it's still intact. That's a good thing. And if it's not, I'm not too worried about it. It's not like I really want them to be connected. So when I had to get her onto the handle, I found out these batteries, they are dead. I mean, they should be. The batteries have been in there since probably 1997. So why would they be around? It's 2024. It's been a long time. I don't think batteries would survive that. And if there are batteries, now I made the assumption in the previous video that there were batteries that were in there. I opened the thing and found out there's no batteries at all. So maybe that's true. Oh, look, I magnetized it. All right, maybe it's true for this as well. Oof. Oh. All right, we got some corrosion of conformity here, so I would not have helped to get the batteries on there anyway. I'm going to loosely put this back in there, and we're going to be doing some cleaning today. Hey, and Will, if you're watching, I think it's not like, don't feel bad here. I always feel bad whenever I sell somebody something and it's like, oh, it's messed up. No, it's, I expect that. If there was batteries in there, I expect that to happen. So, on her sled, I had to put her like this. On the video, or not the video, on the thing on the front, it's got her up higher, but I don't see how, because that thing's got her hand in so tight. There's no way, she doesn't bend at her arm. There's no way to raise her up any higher, so it's a very discomforting way to put somebody in a position. At least I imagine it would be. Let's take her off of that. See, it's like a metal prong that connects to this. If you had the light weapon, guys, you know what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at Jean Grey. Let me zoom in on her face when I want to get her close to the, when you get things close to the camera, they go blurry. I must say that honestly, for 1997, that's really good paint. The weird thing is her hair. Now, I don't know if at one time the hair colors were the same, but this is painted, obviously. And plastics tend to fade over time, whereas painted parts don't. So they may have been the same color at one time and way back in the day. Now, let's look at her action figure. Oh, she's got articulation in her hair. That's good. So she can do Yapple Dapple. She can do the I Dream of Jeannie cartoon from the 70s. All right, so let's take a look at the articulation. She's got the 360-degree head, like Linda Blair. Now let's just go ahead, since we saw her beautiful face, let's go and put her mask on so she can be breathing in space, even though there's no air tanks hooked up to this thing, so it must be some kind of magic that the X-Men do. Oh, she's not even got a face shield. So hers is like some kind of VR thing. So, okay. His was more of an oxygen mask thing. You can go back and watch that video. All right, her arms go around 360 degrees. She looks like something from a video game I can't quite put my finger on. Or, you ever see the bubblegum Crisis? One of their late, I think it's like Parasite dolls. Kind of gives me that vibe right there. Her uniform is the traditional yellow and blue, but she's got silver armor all over it. Big old pads right here like she's been on Dynasty. She's got red cables, just like her son. Let's see, the legs go up a good 90 degrees. The back leg, or they don't go back that far at all, if any, if you can consider that, because, all right, the knees bend just past 90 degrees. And of course, this is the 90s. We didn't need no stinking foot articulation. I still don't really care about it. But that's what you get right there. So she can be sitting on something comfortably. And the hair does help whenever you got it back in a ponytail and it can be, you know, turned around. I'm just afraid that since this is like a 1997 action figure, after 20-some years, I have a tendency to believe these things can break over time. I know that I've had that happen before. But these figures are absolutely fantastic. I would much rather go back to this era than to keep moving forward the 6-inch stuff, that's for sure. So we got these two figures, and his head is looking up, so that's why he's kind of in a crouching position. He's ready for riding motorcycles, so he's a little bit shorter than her. But then again, Wolverine was only bigger in the minds of people. If you ever read the comic books, he was always shorter. He really was. And if you want to get the new action figures from Dollar Tree, they are pretty much within the same scale of them. I mean, I think they would go fine. Like, as you need real people in the superhero universe. But if you're asking me, well, are these 1/18 scale, or are they 3 3/4? Actually, they are not. So this figure is almost 5 inches tall. For the rest of the world, that means that she is close to 13 centimeters tall. Now, we've taken a look at her. Let's take a look at this vehicle that she can ride upon in some extremely strange way that I've yet to figure out exactly. Now, if I put her hand on the thing, I'm not going to get her in that position. I don't know how they got her in that position. I'm trying to figure out which is the best way. Like, if she can't really sit down, whoops, she's going to fall off. Even if you bend her legs at maximum bendage, well, kind of, but that looks very uncomfortable. And if you put on her knees, yes, she can fly it, I guess, but okay, well, that's about the only way you're going to do it. And who wants to ride like that? I don't know. I thought it was going to be more like a jet ski where she's going to be riding standing up like this and have like handlebars or something, you know? Maybe I can do something like that for it. But let's take a look at this. The plastic on this is really groovy. I like that color. If it had the working batteries, these would light up, and I don't know if they light up whenever you put the handle on or if you push the fire button. I don't know. I've never had this new, like back in the original days, but it's got 2 firing missiles. Let's see if they're still good. It might scare the cats away. I don't know. Now, the colors on this thing are very neat. They're very different from the X-Men colors. I would expect to have yellow and blue for the vehicles. And to be honest with you, it's very different from Wolverine's. Wolverine's predominantly like indigo, white, blue, and a neon booger yellow. Well, this one's got neon booger yellow for the windshield, and that's it. These are translucent yellow. Most of it is very white looking, like a off-white, astronaut white, I guess, red and blue. It's almost like Captain America could be driving this. He could be, it's crime fighting time, and I'm going to ride my crime fighting sled, because this is cops. Maybe, kind of, sort of. And if you wanted to say, well, I don't know, I want to check a smaller scale figure, well, we always have a 1/18 scale figure around. Here is my favorite figure, one of my favorites. It's me from when I was younger, except my hair was blonder than that, but I really dig this figure. I think it's cool. He has translucent parts, but he's not completely clear because that's a little lazy. He's got paint apps. He can sort of ride it like that, or let's see, if he was riding like this, that would look more like what I was thinking that she was going to be riding it like. So that kind of works. I kind of dig that a lot. Except he doesn't have anything to hold on to. If I want to put him in the same kind of like speeder bike position, or not, whatever the position you want to call that, it kind of works too. All right, and of course the best figures of all times. We're talking about the Micro Man figures from 1999. Actually, this is a little bit later. This is the LED figures. Let's see if they can look good with them. Oh gosh, they look good with anything, don't they, though? I mean, there's no way you can make a Micro Man not look good doing anything he does. He can even sit down on this right here, and the little buttons, maybe he's like using his hands over the buttons, like magic Star Trek-y kind of stuff, like, and of course, his hand won't go on that. But if we want to put him in the position that he's I guess, what's it called? Like that position right there. He looks good in that position too. You can't go wrong with Micro Man. All right, anybody else that we want to try? Let's see if Godzilla can ride it. Godzilla, dun, dun, dun. There we go. Godzilla on a spaceship. What could be more awesome than that? And of course, our favorite superhero, the animated series of Batman. All right, so we got sitting down position. Yeah, he's not gonna he doesn't seem to work with it too well. He's not got all the articulation points that you'd really need to get him into a good position. Let me get rid of that cape. Yeah, his legs are long and skinny, so he is really riding on the back like he's going to fall off. So he's probably not the best candidate for this. So overall, do you think this is a good thing? Do you think you would want to pick one up? I don't know where you want to pick one up, but you might want to check out this guy right here. Now, he doesn't have this one anymore because this is from his own private collection that he had in storage. But you might want to check him out for other things that he may have for sale. And tell him I sent you. So, hey, have a fantastic day today, and I hope you are doing well. And I'm going to actually enjoy this a little bit more because, I don't know, I like this one. I hate the claws on it, so I'm going to rip those. I'm going to probably cut them off, take the batteries out because I don't really care about the thing. And I think it looks really cool. And this looks cool, but in a very different way. And they really don't look like they belong together, in my personal opinion, which is perfectly fine. Oh, I know what you're asking. It folds up like this. There's also a port over here, and a port back here. So if you wanted to connect this to, well, he does have a port on the front, so you can connect it in this way if you want her to be the leader. You can connect it this way, but it doesn't really work that well. He doesn't have any side ports on his. I think her unit's supposed to be technically the middle unit. His is the front. There's 2 side units and then a back unit maybe. If you look at the design, I was like, I could work out how 4 of them go because I'm thinking of the Fantastic Four, Fantastic Art. But yeah, I guess their 5th one would be on the very back, and it's probably Charles Xavier's. So which is your favorite vehicle from these 2? I'm having a hard time deciding that myself. Wait, oh, okay. There's also a clip here, which I just realized. So she needs to get in tight places. She can do like that mode. And there is wheels on the. There are wheels on the bottom. So it can roll. And of course, he has 4 wheels on the bottom. So his can roll, and his looks like it should roll. Hers just looks like a hovering vehicle. But you can go into this mode about it. All right. So guys, which one is your favorite? And let me know in the comments below because I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching.